if I need to, because I'm not feeling great. Cough or sneeze. Check.
If you need a cough or sneeze, you can just press on that.
He said it would still go out over.
Really?
Yeah, you said I'm still.
This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school baseball on iTalk 1.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 1. Commentary for the broadcast, Jim Johnson. What are the keys to this game, Jim? Go to a break.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve.
The Snowflake assistant coaches, and one of the things that he said to me was the exact same thing as Skip Bodden, who's going to be on the hill today for the Snowflake Lobos. He said if he can keep the ball down and the defense can back him up, we're going to have ourselves a good ball game. And he feels if we can make less errors, if Snowflake can make less errors, we meaning Abe, that we're going to come through and we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a ball game here. While Snowflake finishes in taking infield, let's go through the rest of our sponsors. We have Sholo Ford, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, Deemer's Glass and Lakeside, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Ace Hardware, and Summit Healthcare. As we run down, we're going to take us a little break here, and we're going to come back as Sholo's going to finish taking infield, and we're going to start this game off.
Since 2006, Beeler Orthodontics has been creating spectacular smiles in the White Mountains. Dr. Beeler and his team use innovative technology and cutting-edge orthodontics while still providing a hometown.
Welcome back again as Sholo High School. The Cougars look to take infield. We're going to run down the lineups real quick. For the Sholo Cougars, leading off, playing center field is number 6, Ryan Kishbaugh. Playing shortstop, number 3, Nolan Hatch. Batting in the 3-hole, batting in the 3-hole, second baseman, number 5, Nash Brewer. Hitting cleanup tonight is number 7, the pitcher, TJ Threadgill. Playing left field, batting 5th, number 11, Landon Erickson. At number 6 is number 10, playing third base, and that's Logan Forney. Playing right field tonight, batting in the 7-hole, is number 13, Cutter Seeley. As well as playing the first base duties tonight is number 2, Nick Hall, in Butler, and he is playing in the 9-hole in right field, and he is batting in the number 9 hole, and that's Easton Butler. As Sholo looks to finish up, we're going to take one more 1-minute break, and we're going to come back and have some baseball action here for you. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Since 2006, Beeler Orthodontics has been creating spectacular smiles in the White Mountains. Dr. Beeler and his team use innovative technology and cutting-edge orthodontics while still providing a hometown experience. From traditional braces and clear aligners to surgical orthodontics, Dr. Beeler works with smiles of all ages. So call them today to schedule a complimentary exam at 928-537.
Have ourselves the Lobo lineup coming out, and we'll be ready to start this game as the plate meeting's going to take place. As Coach Joe Matthews for the Snowflake Lobos and Coach Jeff McNeil of the Snowflake of the Sholo Cougars get together at the plate meeting, we have umpire-in-chief behind the plate, Mr. Elmer Murray, and our umpire on the bases for tonight's game is Mr. Paul Hancock. And two of the best that they bring to us for this game. And this game has some very huge region implications as Mr. Johnston and I are going down the region rankings, and it looks like Sholo Jim is sitting number 22, as well as the home team, the Snowflake Lobos, are hitting 15. But I think there's a lot more on the line if it goes to pride in the region, because I think the winner becomes the outright region champ, regardless of rank.
Yeah, I think there's a three-way tie right now with Blue Ridge, Snowflake, and Sholo. I'm not exactly sure what goes on. I know for certain that it's
not team or region player of the year, things like that. And as I look down the lineup, it looks like there's candidates for region player of the year on both of these squads at this time. So it's just going to be interesting to see how it shakes out when this game goes through. I know senior day is a little bit of a distraction for the Lobos, but we'll see as the plate meeting's still taking place and we're really getting ready for action. As we're a few minutes behind starting, as Coach Matthews and Coach McNeil are going over the ground rules with the officials, and they're going through. We're going to take one more break. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
We're going to have leadoff hitter Ryan Kishbaz. We're getting ready as Mr. Elmer Murray, the umpire-in-chief, the home plate umpire, signals to Skip Bodden. It's time to throw. And here's Bodden with the windup. First pitch is going to be a strike. Nice velocity by Bodden in there. Don't have our radar gun, but Mr. Johnston has an eye for these things, and he says that came in about 81 miles an hour. Actually, I have no idea. As Kishbaz dribbles to short, and that's going to go right over the head of Canyon Bryant. Not an error. That was a base hit. Canyon playing in his normal spot. That ball bounced over, and Jim, you know what's scary about that is we know that Kishbaugh definitely has some speed on the bases, doesn't he?
Yeah, Kishbaugh's got some wheels. He's a definitely steal threat. I have to watch him and make sure to keep him close so he can keep him on.
He plays the role of leadoff hitter well. As I'm going to have Mr. Johnston on the stats here today. As number 3, Nolan Hatch steps in the box. Skip Bodden from the stretch. Skip looks over his shoulder, and we're going to have a ball high as Bodden delivers up. Bodden looks over at Kishbaugh. Bodden with the windup, and we're going to get
looks like we got a
foul ball, dead ball. I'm not sure what happened there. He called him back, so.
Yeah, he tried to pull the bat away and couldn't get it away in time, and ended up fouling it off. We have Hatch is actually batting .333 this year, so he's
.333. I'm going to note that. That is Hatch batting .333 as Bodden checks Kishbaugh. As we've got some nice camera shots by our camera crew today. Again, this is Show Ford's presentation of high school baseball on italk1067.com. You know, Jim, it's our first experience calling some baseball here at Lobos Stadium, and the action's a little bit slower than we're used to in basketball and football, isn't it?
It is, which is good for me.
Bodden a little worried about Kishbaugh there as Bodden hits the outside corner, and Mr. Have a dead ball as Sholo's going to have runners on first and second. As we're going to, Kishbaugh takes the base but isn't going to get credit for the stolen base. As Kishbaugh singles, as Hatch is going to be hit. We're going to have no outs here in the top first. As Skip Bodden's struggling a little bit, but that's not too bad to start off the game here. As there's a bunt on. As Jim, we had a bunt there, and I believe that was by Brewer, who's a fast young man. Bunts it back to the pitcher, and Bodden does not look for the easy out. Bodden takes that ball and throws it to third and gets Kishbaugh.
That was a heady play. Usually on that, you want to get the easy out at first base, but so Threadgill's got a batting average here of .355. Perfect batting average, what you want for a cleanup batter. Somebody to knock those runs in, get on base.
355, you said, Mr. Johnson?
355.
That's a pretty good batting average again for the 3 East.
Yeah, on base percentage of .481, so he gets on about half the time he gets up.
That's a pretty amazing statistic, as we're 2-2 with Bodden. As we're going to have ourselves a foul ball dribbled down the line, as we've had the opportunity to mingle with a little bit of these boys. We've had the Sholo boys a little bit, but the Snowflake boys a little bit more, so we know a little bit more about them and have watched more games. As Bodden throws another slider as it hits in for a strike call. As looks like the zone's going to be awful big today, and you love that if you're a pitcher. You cringe at it if you're a hitter, but overall it's the best thing for the fans.
Yep.
As Erickson looks in, as Erickson's going to have a slow dribbler down to Munger. Munger's going to flip it to Bodden, and that's for the third out of the inning. As we're going to have a 3-1 for the third out of the inning. As Bodden gets out, as Sholo has one.
Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Show Ford's presentation of high school baseball on italk1067.com. On our YouTube channel, we are live. I've had an update from the boss in charge, and he says that the studio is going to be looking to meet with the city, and we're going to have us a studio in hopefully the near future. So we're hoping we're bringing you football next season live, White Mountain football. Is there anything better than White Mountain football, Jim? I know we love being outside for a game today, but White Mountain football is just a unique experience.
It sure is. It's what the people like here.
As Brevin Matthews, the catcher for the Lobos, steps in, and Brevin is having himself a great senior year. And Jim, I'd venture to say from what we've seen this year, Brevin Matthews could be in the running for the Region Player of the Year if the Lobos can get a win today.
He has. He's been playing really, really well. I mean, he is a rocket for an arm as a catcher, and then he's batting right now at .443 with an on-base percentage of .581. So he gets on base quite often as the leadoff batter.
He didn't like that one as we get a strike called on the outside corner. 0-0 as the Lobos come to bat with no outs in the bottom of the first inning. Matthews looks on as Threadgill delivers the second pitch. That is going to be, we're going to go to a 3-1 count as Threadgill is, he's not really having trouble finding the zone. His pitches have just been a bit high, but hopefully he's not thinking about that last called strike. I'm thinking as a pitcher, he's going, hey, if you're going to call that, I'm going to throw that all day. As a full count goes to Brevin Matthews.
Here, usually when you have a wind like this, it's probably 15, 20 mile an hour with 25 mile an hour gusts. You get a pop-up fly. It's not no routine fly today. It's tough to judge and figure out where it's actually going to be.
That was definitely the case on Matthews' fly ball as we have Skip Bodden, the pitcher, stepping in. And I'm not sure. It looks like Mr. Murray might have taken one as he's going to have to walk that off. As Coach Merklin over there at third, the third base coach from Merklin, he calls timeout to talk to Skip. But really what he was doing is he was giving Mr. Murray there a little bit of time. And it looks like he's going to be okay.
Well, Aaron, on the year, we have Skip batting at 403 with an on-base percentage of 507.
So the first two batters for the Lobos effectively get on base half the time. That's an amazing statistic. I keep saying that word amazing. It's kind of a dumb thing to say. You go back and listen to the broadcast, you're like, oh, you used the word amazing. So I'm going to say Skip doing a good job.
It could be a say impressive. It's also impressive.
Hey, impressive. We need a thesaurus. We got Jim Johnston, the thesaurus. He speaks Portuguese, he speaks Spanish. There's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass fouled back by Bodden, and it looks like we have been asked to update some of the people on the broadcast about our JV score earlier in the day, and it looks like we had the Show Low Cougars defeating the Snowflake Lobos 10-9 in the JV. Congratulations to them. Not sure what kind of season what they were having, but always good to get a win against your rival as Bodden looks ball three. One down here in the bottom first, no score as Bodden steps in. Skip Bodden, the sophomore for the Snowflake Lobos. As Bodden looks over 400 as, Jim, I think Bodden's enticing him to throw over because of that long first base that we have here at, we got to come up. Lobo Stadium, Lobo Park, Lobo Field. What do we call this place?
We'll just call it Lobo Stadium. He has taken a big lead.
We could name it after the person who built it, but I don't think we effectively don't have names. But was this field here when you were growing up in Snowflake?
It was.
And this was effectively built by Mr. Paul Reynolds, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I've heard.
That's what I've heard, too, as Munger looks at ball one. As this field's, I don't even know what year this came into be. It's probably been here about 40 years, wouldn't you say? It's a great place to watch a game with seating above the dugouts, the concrete structure. I believe it's 315 down the lines, and we got straight fences, and I believe it's about 365 to the gaps and about 355 to straightaway center is what I remember, is where the grass is greening up here in the White Mountains, and we're starting to get a great surface to play on as Munger looks at another on and drives it to center, and that's going to be can of corn for Kishbaugh as Bodden's going to head back to first. As Munger hustles off, and that's going to bring up the DH for the Snowflake Lobos, and this is Mr. Jet Yellowhair. Jet, I think, went through a little bit of slump at the beginning of the year, but he has come on lately, and he's kind of earned the right to hit in this cleanup spot for the Lobos as the big junior steps in and wants to take his swings off Threadgill here as Bodden's at first. And Yellowhair swings at strike one, breaking ball down low. Two down here in the bottom of the first.
So Jet this year is batting .449 with the on-base percentage of .525.
I like
live market value when we take people's vehicles in on trade. We're giving top dollar right here at Horn Auto Center using live market value what vehicles are selling for in the last 90 days. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned.
40 bunts, strike one. And Jim, that's kind of an interesting move for your 6-hitter to start off with a bunt with no one on early in this ball game.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's their third baseman. He's batting .366 this year. Looks like a baseball player.
I don't remember that name from football, but it doesn't matter. I mean, a lot of these guys don't play multiple sports, and that's okay. As Forney struggles, and that's going to fall. That's going to fall in between. That's going to fall in for a base hit for Forney. And that is going to be a fly ball to left center as that was fielded. Is that Frost, the center fielder for the Lobos, Jim?
That is Frost.
As Frost is going to field it, and Forney's going to go into first. And that's the second hit for the Snowflake Lobos. As Cutter Seeley, number 13, is the next batter, the right fielder. Had the final out in that first inning. Here's Bodden. Bodden looks from the stretch. Bodden comes set. Takes a sign from Matthews. There's the delivery, and that's going to be way outside as Matthews looking for a pickoff back and doesn't get it.
So we're getting the stats from Max Preps, and according to Max Preps, he's batting at a 179. Not great.
At center field, as Seeley's going to go down in the books to fly out to Frost for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up number 2, Nick Hall. Nick Hall, the lefty.
He hit that on a rope, but fortunately for Frost, he didn't have to move.
Now Frost has some serious speed too, from what we know. So between center and right field, we've got some speed out there for the. Oh, and we got Jet McCray in left. So the Lobos have a pretty speedy outfield, don't they?
They do. They can run.
As here we go, is fly ball to left, and just as I said, did Jet McCray make that look easy, or did Jet McCray make that look easy? Great job. As Hall flies out to Jet McCray in left field for the second out of the inning, and that brings up Jeremy Kishbaugh as the next batter for the Cougars, number 8. And he is playing catcher, I believe.
Yep, he's their catcher.
Bodden 2 down in the first. Bodden looks, Bodden delivers outside. Bodden is doing everything he can to work that middle of the plate over, and I know that's something that Coach Matthews is telling him.
Would have kept the guy at first base, but now they've got 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs.
Well, going to leave a little bit to Bodden here as he's got to face a tough Kishbaugh, who still have no score in this first inning as Kishbaugh looks in. As we have Bodden with the delivery to Matthews. Matthews with the pickup play down to Bryan at third, and Forney gets back there. Second ball thrown to high to Kishbaugh. 0-0 here. Top 2 down in the first or second inning. Bodden up on the hill, facing Ryan Kishbaugh, the center fielder for the Sholo Cougars. As Kishbaugh swings it his first strike. The wind just picked up a little bit here at Lobos Stadium, and the ominous clouds to the north of us are creeping in here as we continue this second inning. Skip Bodden misses on the outside, working that outside corner. And Jim, I'm not sure of the pitch count rules, but it does look like the Lobos will obviously have a contingency plan if Bodden runs out of pitches here early on, because we still have a game for them Wednesday, which will factor into pitches. As Skip Bodden
forming lives.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on italk1067.com as we're going to look for a little clarification on that last ruling there. We did have that right. It was essentially they thought it was wrong number of outs, and it was corrected, and everything took care of itself as Jim, I'm not going to pretend to know what was going on there because Kishbaugh struck out, correct?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the umpire had the correct count. The scoreboard apparently was incorrect, and so. But Kishbaugh didn't complain, so.
That's going to bring up Kenyon Bryant. And Kenyon swings, and he's going to launch a slow blooper to right field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. as Bryant is on with a base hit here in the bottom of the second inning, as that's going to bring up Aiden Kaur. And Jim, I've watched a little bit of Snowflake this year, but Aiden Kaur is really kind of what I'd call sneaky. He doesn't overpower you, but the young man sees the ball very well. He does not strike out very often, and he sees the ball very well, and he squeaks the ball through for a lot of base hits. As he's having a pretty good year, as Brian is back in with a close call at first, but they're going to call him safe.
Yeah, having coached Aiden in football the last 2 years, this is a kid that just doesn't give up. He gives 100% effort every time. He always count on giving his best.
Right, and he had a little bit of a setback this year in football, and it didn't seem to slow him down when he came back at all. Was it an ankle?
Yeah, it was something with the foot. I'm not sure if it was the ankle or something.
It was, but I almost want to say it was broken, and he was able to come back and have a really good year on that state runner-up team of the Snowflake Lobos.
He was a contributor for sure.
As Threadgill and Bodden are both working the middle of the outside of the plate and finding a little success. There's going to be a pass ball, and the bricks here, the block here at Snowflake Field, Lobos Stadium, Snowflake Park, Lobo Park, bounces the ball right back to Kishbaz. Kishbaz still doesn't get a chance to make the play. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kaur, as he just sees the ball really well and has an eye for it. Threadgill looks in, he delivers, and that's going to be another pass ball, and that is going to allow Bryant to go to third base.
On the year, Aiden's at 343 his batting average, on-base percentage of 420.
That's a great on-base percentage.
The top Snowflake's lineup is stacked. They seem to get on base quite often.
There you go. There's that eye we talked about. And Aiden Kaur is down to first with a base on balls. We're going to have runners on first and third, and these are always the interesting situations because, Jim, you have a possibility here as we can jump ahead. Okay, the catcher's going to call first and third, but you have Frost up who has some speed, who can also lay the ball down.
Yep.
And you have runners on first and third, and so you could effectively lay it down to get those runners on. You could give Kaur a steal sign. Interesting to see what Coach Merck and Coach Matt. I believe Coach McNeil is going to come out. We're going to have ourselves a Honda Ski and Outdoor visit to the mound, but we're going to run down our sponsor, Sholo Ford Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, Deemer's Glass and Lakeside, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Ace Hardware, their keys to the game, and Summit Healthcare Injury Report. And one I forgot is Beeler Orthodontics and Comfort Fit Dentures.
So early in this game, Aaron, we're getting a pitching change.
We're getting pitching change. You know what? We're going to take a change too. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of White Mountain Baseball on iTalk1067.com.
Hey everyone, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center at the Deuce of Clubs in Sholo. People are saying to me, hey Joe, what's going on with these used car prices? Well, we have to use live market value when we take people's vehicles in on trade. We're giving top dollar right here at Horn Auto Center, using live market value, what vehicles are selling for in the last 90 days. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic
ball and is not able to get the run in from third, so Bryant flies out for the first out of the inning.
That's a good job by Erickson coming in, getting that first out, 2 outs in the inning, bases loaded. He's just a sophomore coming out here on a big stage.
Absolutely, Jim. The momentum carried him in, and it didn't even give Brian a chance, Canyon Brian, a chance there on third to make the play, as we're going to have Easton Butler for the Lobos coming up. As Easton's going to look at strike one, a hair outside that curveball.
That's a big breaker, though. That thing broke.
That thing broke, and that's one thing I think is going to keep the Lobos honest here. I'm going to have to look up the last game they played and see if we can get any quick stats on that one. Monster breaking ball way outside, 1-1 As Jim, it's getting a little more ominous as we move on. Something moving in. I'm going to check our fabulous weather forecast and see what we're looking like. As Easton swings one outside. Looks like that storm right now is pushing just to the north of us. And the chance of rain that was there is going to disappear as quick. If we can avoid it here early on, we'll be in good shape. Looks like Holbrook might be getting something. As Butler gives us a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. If that was your windshield, call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass.
So we got Butler this year at 303 batting average.
Quite the golfer, and he's hasn't been too thrilled to be out on that course this time of year, and has remarked how terrible the spring it's been. And we can all say that we're glad it's end of April. We'll take a little bit of the wind at this point if we can get some decent days. Base hit by Easton Butler, driven into left field, and that could score a couple. As Bryant goes. And that's going to score Bryant and Aiden Thor. Aiden Thor coming in all the way from second. And the Lobos take an early 2-0 game as Easton Butler sets himself up for 2 RBIs with a base hit, a line drive base hit, and he's going to settle for a single. 2 down as Brevin Matthews steps in, and I don't think there's much of a better hitter for the Lobos you would want than Brevin Matthews up right now. As Erickson looks. Ball down in the dirt, Brevin.
It's a good piece of hitting by Easton. Just full count, taking where the pitch went and put it out there and play.
I think the thing about Easton is and maybe this is just me, but I kind of like to look at their experience through all sports. And Easton's played basketball for the Lobos. He's played football. And, he just knows these pressure situations from his role on the football field and the basketball court, and it translates over as there's an inside pitch to Matthews. Erickson being real careful where he throws this ball to the senior for the Lobos, the catcher, Brevin Matthews. Brevin, a Scottsdale Community College commit, signed on to play ball there next year, and we wish him the best for that. Erickson looks and delivers as Matthews is going to fly one out to left, and that's going to be caught for the second out, which they had. Okay, there was one on the board as Brevin flies out. I was looking at the innings, and it was 2, which maybe that could have been the factor in the first, as that's going to bring up the young sophomore pitcher for today, and that's Skip Bond for the Snowflake Lobos.
This is a good opportunity for Skip to help himself out. If he can get a base hit, maybe get a run, maybe 2, depending on where he gets it to.
Frost, we know has speed, so Skip puts this in play. Puts it in as a base hit. We could definitely see Frost coming across the plate. As Bodden skies one sky high, and that's going to be right there to the shortstop, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning as the Lobos go down, but not without doing some damage as they score 2. We're going to the top of the 3. Snowflake 2, Sholo.
Experience in window tint? You can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk1067.com. We're live from Lobos Stadium here in the confines of Snowflake, Arizona. Jim Johnston, I'm Aaron Hewish, as the Snowflake takes a 2-0 lead on the Sholo Cougars. Typical day for White Mountain baseball, 70 degrees, 15-mile-per-hour breeze, 50 to 20, gusts up to 25, with some threats to the north of us of rain. But a good crowd here on hand, Jim, and always a good crowd when the Lobos have a decent day to play some ball.
Yeah, for a baseball crowd, this is a good crowd for Snowflake. There's quite a bit of people from Snowflake here, and Charlotte brought a pretty good contingent with them also. Between pitches, he gets the ball and he goes. He's and it's as a pitcher, when you get behind in the count, it's tough. It's really tough. It's put yourself behind, and the hitters have an advantage on you. So Skip needs to get ahead of some of these kids.
Nash Brewer comes up for the Sholo Cougars, and we know Nash Brewer, his athleticism is taken. He had that injury in basketball, but was able to come back from that. Was that an ankle or a knee? I don't quite remember, Jim.
I think it was an ankle.
I think it was an ankle, and he's able to come back. And here's a young man who contributes in all 3 levels, who's very respected as an athlete in the White Mountains. And watching Nash Brewer play ball in any sport is a good day. As Nash Brewer hits a hard Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball, if that was your windshield, call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass.
If you had to rank the athletes up here in the White Mountains, you'd have to put Nash in the top 2 or 3 for sure.
I think Nash, and another one I think you'd have to. It's handled by Butler, as Butler's going to I don't know if he mishandled it as an error because it was still a base hit, but a little bit of a bobble allowed the runner to get to third, and that's going to allow Hatch to get to third while Threadgill stops at first. With one out here, runners on the corners for the Sholo Cougars, as that's going to bring up Erickson, who grounded to first base his last time Munger had that toss to Bodden. As Erickson steps in, as the temperatures dropped a couple degrees, and as Erickson's going to get hit by a pitch, and Skip looking for some encouragement from the dugout, is that's going to load the bases. That's Bodden's second hit batter. Now that brings. So I don't know what Coach Matthews has up his sleeve. Coach Matthews, I think, arguably, but in my opinion, is the best pitching coach we've had on the White Mountains since I've been around, which is 18 years. Has a chance to come in, and I'm sure he has a game plan going on what's going to happen. But it's not an easy feat to try to win today and to play tomorrow with these pitch counts and everything that these players have going on.
No, you're exactly right, Aaron. It's a tough situation. You definitely want to win this game. You want to become the region champions, but then you also got to realize that you have a game Wednesday, win or loss today. You got to make sure that you're able to put out a competitive team for that.
Here's the pitch by Bodden, and that's going to be a little ominous and dark as Bodden delivers a ball. We're going to have us a 2-2 count here in the top three for the Lobos. Temperature drops so much more, we're going to have some running for some cover here. I didn't bring a jacket. I thought I was going to be good today, but I was wrong. And Forney swings on and miss, and that gives Bodden out number 2, strike 3, and that's going to bring up Cutter Seeley. That was just kind of blown right by Jim. That was a fastball down the middle, and he was able to get it there.
Exactly. He's probably throwing it in the high 70s. If I had to estimate, I don't think he's in the low 80s, but he's probably getting high 70s.
Bodden up. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top 3. Bases are loaded. Bodden frustrated on that one. The young sophomore going to have to calm his emotions a little bit as Coach Matthews gives the sign from the dugout. I can't see the Sholo coaches very well, but I'm looking. As we're going to have an RBI by Seeley on a walk, as that's going to bring in Nolan Hatch.
So we got a 1-run game.
That's going to bring up Nick Hall, the lefty. And Nick Hall flew out to center field on the first pitch, second pitch last time at bat. As Bodden misses up again. Time is called by Hall, granted by the umpire.
He's behind 2-0. Hitters count. We'll see what
hitters count. Bases loaded. 2 strikes as Bodden steps off. Going to collect himself a little bit. Skip Bodden, the young sophomore, having a great year for the Snowflake Lobos. Stepped up and taken the role of pitcher. As Bodden throws it, Brevin throws down to pick off, and that's going to allow Threadgill to score for the Cougars. And we have ourselves a tie game here in Snowflake, Arizona at the top of the third. Lobos, we're going to go 2-2 into the bottom of the third. Lobos, we're going to go 2-2 into the bottom of the third inning. It's the Sholo Fort's presentation of high school baseball on italk1067.com.
Hey everyone, this is Joe G from Horn Auto Center, the Deuce Clubs in Sholo. People are saying to me, hey Joe, what's going on with these used car prices? Well, we have to use live market value when we take people's vehicles in on trade. We're giving top dollar right here at Horn Auto Center, using live market value, what vehicles are selling for in the last 90 days. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
Think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Station of High School Baseball on iTalk1067.com. I'm Aaron Hewish. I'm joined by Jim Johnston here at Lobos Stadium as we go to the bottom of the three, tied 2-2 as Sholo was able to put two across in that third inning as Ashton Munger is going to step in, batting .403 for the Lobos. Munger flew out to center field his first time up.
We knew this was going to be a good game. Both these teams want to win this game really bad. They're fierce rivals, and we're not too bad we don't pay admission to come watch us because this.
I know that I have the voice here, but you got to realize that the people behind the scenes and our sponsors are the ones that make this possible. Ooh, Munger looks at strike two. Great pitch there by Erickson to Munger.
That was a good pitch. He had to do a breaking ball. Broke and went down. Good pitch.
The sun's peaked behind the clouds here, so there's no shadows. As you know, those of you who've been here to Lobos Stadium, the shadows can play a little bit of a role at the late part of the game where you're pitching from the shade to the shadows and can play a little factor. 2-2 count on Munger as Erickson delivers. Erickson's pitch is outside, full count. As both pitchers, the third pitcher today, are, as Mr. Johnson pointed out to me earlier, is these pitchers are struggling to stay ahead in the count as we move through this game. As Munger swings, that's going to be driven right to Kishbaugh in center field. Kishbaugh catches it with one hand, and that's going to be the first out of the inning as Munger flies out to center for the first out, and that's going to bring up the DH for today for the Lobos, and that is Mr. Jet Yellowhair. Jet Yellowhair doing the DHing duties for the left fielder Jet McCray. But let's not forget to take a chance to recognize our outfield today, especially McCray. That is one fast outfield the Lobos have out there. McCray, Frost, and Butler as the wind picks up a little bit. Pitches to Yellowhair, and that's going to be strike one to number 27, the junior. Jim, what is he in? Is he a tackle in football or does he play guard?
He plays defensive tackle.
He plays defensive tackle for. He is sporting an old school look, wouldn't you say, Jim?
Oh yeah, and you have some short kids doing the same thing. Which I like. It's whatever the kid feels comfortable with, let him do it. As long as it stays within team.
Yellowhair swings at strike three, and he goes down swinging for the second out of the inning. As I've always been a big fan of uniform aesthetics, and I really like these uniforms that Coach Matthews has for the Lobos. They kind of have that old Astros sunburst stripe. Bryant looks at strike two there as Bryant.
Great pitch.
Jim, between pitches here, we talk a little bit about White Mountain football. We're well to the end of baseball season. Maybe we can get a chance to talk about some football next year. As Bryant looks at ball two. As we can take a chance here in the next couple innings, we can dissect some of these Sholo Cougars and these Snowflake Lobos moving forward from the diamond to the gridiron. What is it, the diamond to the gridiron to the hardwood?
Pretty much.
Diamond to the gridiron to the mat circles? I don't know. But you just see a lot of these young men playing both. We mentioned Nash Brewer. We mentioned Kishbaugh. It's just fun to watch.
Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Welcome back to Show Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk1067.com. As the temperatures drop, the winds have picked up, and the score is tied here going into the fourth inning as the Show Cougars are going to bring, let me see here. My stat sheet isn't turned like it should be. That's going to bring up Jeremy Kishbaugh, the catcher for the Show Cougars. Going to be a huge loss for the Cougars in a few sports. They do have a good core coming back, though, in a lot of their sports, and we look for huge things out of them as Bodden finishes inside on that pitch right there.
Yeah, both of them are very good football players.
Very good football players. Had a chance to watch them pretty well live.
He's actually, first time in a while that actually Mr. Bodden's been ahead on the count. So see what he comes
Skip
up
has
with.
struggled a little bit being behind on the count, so we'll see what he can do. You know, this pitch clock, they have to now. I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about it in the major leagues, but there is one. This pitch clock, they have to now. I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about it in the major leagues, but there is one in high school right now that the base umpire keeps. We just can't see it. And, oh my goodness, Skip Bodden, outside pitch, strike 3, and that's going to sit Hatch down for the third out of the inning, as we're going to look at that one on replay, and wow.
888-002-928-888-0002.
Welcome back to Show Forge presentation of high school baseball on iTalk1067.com. I'm Aaron Hewish, joined by my very good color man for the day, and that's Mr. Jim Johnston, as he's filling a huge role today, stepping in and doing a fantastic job. As Aiden Kaur, the sophomore, steps in. And Erickson has done a good job at keeping these Lobos in check, hasn't allowed a whole lot of base runners.
Yeah, I tell you, Aaron, I've been really impressed with him. He good placement. He's got a really good breaking ball. Throws it with decent velocity. He's kept the Lobos guessing, and he's done a really good job.
As he motors into third, I'm not sure who the switch was, but I want to say that Threadgill went to center, and that would put, I might be Kishbaugh on left, I'm not sure. But whoever it was.
Kishbaugh's still in center. So
okay, so whoever it is there, all I can say is that there was some major movement to even get a chance on that ball.
Yeah.
And so that was a fantastic job.
He had a good beat on it, just good piece of hitting by Frost. Then, speed kills. I don't know if anybody else on the Lobos team gets a trip out of that hit.
Easton.
Maybe Easton.
But now we have Brendan Bryant. Brendan Bryant did a great job in that 17-1 5-inning victory the other day against the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. Brendan is just, there's not a whole lot bad I can say about Brendan Bryant. He's just been a phenomenal, steady guy for the Snowflake Lobos. Done a good job. I have the opportunity to interact with him almost every day and have a lot of good things to say about him. As you know, we both teach here at Snowflake, and we might sound like a little bit homers, but we just see these young men every day. We would say the same thing if we saw these Show Cougars every day. There's just really good athletes. And Jim, I have that as 3-2 for the Snowflake Lobos. Erickson, however, doing a great job right now.
Yeah, he has been impressive. I've been extremely impressed by the way he throws the ball. Just he hits the spots. Good pitcher, a very good pitcher.
Base is empty, 2 down for Easton Butler. Butler lined. He had that hit between short and third his first time up to bat, is what I have in the unofficial book.
Did he get the 2 RBIs?
I think he did. Yes, he did. Because we had, I think we might have had bases loaded when he was up to bat, and he had that single which scored those 2 in the second inning. As he's going to foul a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. And real quick, we're going to run down our sponsors. Show Ford, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, Steamers Glass, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Ace Hardware, Summit Healthcare, Beeler Orthodontics, and Comfort Fit Dentures. And we thank them for making these broadcasts possible for all of you. And I'm sure a lot of these youth are going to go back and watch what they did right and what they credit to Erickson, though. He's keeping the ball down, and he is keeping these Lobo hitters guessing with everything he's doing as Matthews steps up to the plate.
He is his. You got Butler on first base, got some good wheels. We'll see what they do with him. See if they're going to sit him or see if he
we have not seen. They're going to let They're going to give Matthews the bunt sign with 2 down. And Matthews is going to take.
Trying to. We'll see.
I have no idea. I have no idea what they're doing with Brevin here, but. As we're glad.
That second baseman's down. Easton slid right into him.
I don't know if he slid or if he came out in front, and we're going to look at that on the replay.
Looks like
his grandfather. Is that him over there that took that foul ball sitting next to Brevin's mom? Brevin Matthews, not a lot of bad I can say about this young man either. Just a good young man who loves the game and plays it the right way. As Matthews singles, oh my goodness, he does not single. That was a great job at shortstop.
He had him played in the right position. He was shading over to the towards second base side. And
Hatch comes over and makes that play as he's going to get. So after we get that replay, we're going to have Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on italk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Show Low Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Show Low Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Show Low Ford has the best deal. Show Low Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at showlowford.com.
Just if I need to put them back on, I can see.
Received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earn. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back to Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on italk1067.com. As we move to the top of the 5th inning, Show Low Cougars coming up to bat. Lobos can't get comfortable, however, even with that one run in the last inning, because they're going to have to face Brewer, Threadgill, and Erickson this inning. And that's 3, 4, 5 in the order. I think you call that the power out. As Brewer's going to hit one in the gap. And that's going to squeak through by Aiden Kaur, the second baseman. And Brewer's going to be on with the single here early in this 5th inning. And that's going to bring Threadgill up. And having Brewer on with your cleanup hitter up to bat, and the way Threadgill's been hitting these last few games, I could look for a serious hit and run here, which could really stump the Lobos. Pinch those middle infielders in and squeak one by here.
I'd be surprised if they don't do a hit run or send Brewer. He's got wheels. He can really, really run.
And that's going to be a line drive to center field, and that's going to be fielded by Cross. Cross going to field the line drive for the first out of the inning, as Brewer's going to be set down, or not Brewer, excuse me, Threadgill is going to be set down with a F8 for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the current pitcher for the Show Low Cougars, and that is Landon Erickson, number 11. Erickson been doing a great job on the hill, as Bodden's going to have to deal with Brewer on first, as Bodden split stance, looks at Brewer, makes his pause. Here's the pitch and delivery. Oh my goodness, we got to take a look at that. That was absolutely. So the pitch comes in, and Brevin Matthews, the senior catcher, throws that in. Bryant didn't even hesitate on the tag and lays it down. Brewer saying he didn't get tagged, but the umpire was right there on top of it, and I got to think that, I'm not sure, but it was a boom play, and credit Bodden for getting that pitch over the plate, because it was a strike. Credit Matthews for getting that ball over, and so Brewer's going to go down as a 2-6 for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Lobo baseball, Aaron, and you have too, and it's a rarity to have a catcher that throws the ball that well, with that velocity, with that accuracy.
Brevin's a little bit of a different breed of a catcher, because he's not the stereotypical, the great Hambino from the Sandlot. He's a very athletic type catcher that plays it really well. And Skip Bodden in there for the third strike of the inning, and he puts Erickson out, and we're going to get us a replay on that, and wow, that is a dirty slider, and he gets in for the third strike, or the third strike of the at bat, and the third out of the inning. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk1067.com.
Since 2006, Beeler Orthodontics has been creating spectacular smiles in the White Mountains. Dr. Beeler and his team use innovative technology and cutting-edge orthodontics while still providing a hometown experience. From traditional braces and clear aligners to surgical orthodontics, Dr. Beeler works with smiles of all ages. So call them today to schedule a complimentary exam at 928-537-7775 or visit them at BeelerOrtho.com. Beeler Orthodontics. Live to smile, love your smile.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk1067.com. As I'm Aaron Hewish, I'm joined by Jim Johnston here at Lobos Stadium. As Skip Bodden, the pitcher for the Lobos, is going to come up here in the bottom of the fifth. 3-2 Lobos ahead, as Erickson's going to hit a single up the middle. And we're going to have ourselves a runner on first with no outs. And I'm sorry to, give too many kudos to these officials, but Jim, I had the chance to work with them during football season on the officiating field, and I've actually had the chance to work with both of these men on the softball diamond as of recently, and they both do an amazing job. And there's there could be close to 40 years out there of umpiring and officiating, and we appreciate them for their time and their efforts, and these men learning the game. But we'll get back to the action here. We don't want to keep the focus on them.
They both have oodles of experience in all 3 sports. 4 sports.
Actually, Elmer does volleyball too, believe it or not. Really? He had some state games. Those of you watching, and how it's going. Jim, that's going to bring up the DH for the Lobos. DHing for the Lobos tonight is number 27, Jet Yellowhair, the junior.
See what Erickson would do. He's in a tough situation, no outs, runners on first and second.
As Yellowhair lays down the bunt signal, he's going to pull back for strike 1. Runners on first and second for the Lobos. 2 singles this inning, no outs. We are in the bottom of the fifth, 3-2 here at Lobo Stadium, Lobo Park, Lobo Field. We could call it after all the former Lobo coaches. As Jet Yellowhair is going to single by the shortstop, and that's going to score Skip Bodden and move Munger to third. As Bodden's going to come around for the score, that's going to be 4-2 for the Lobos. Munger goes to third, and that's going to put Jet Yellowhair on first with a single.
Good piece of hitting there by Jet, just right between the shortstop and third baseman. That's all you need to do is put the bat in the ball and, see where it goes.
It looks like we're going to have a substitution. It might be that Yellowhair is going to come out, and they're going to put in one of the young Lobos to run for him. As the cloud cover in the ball game. As Canyon Bryant's going to hit one to the gap, and this could be extra bases, Jim. That's going to bring around Munger to score, and that's going to move the pinch runner, the substitute, Kyler Matthews. As Canyon Bryant is going to go into second with the double. That's going to score 1 run, 2 runs in the inning for the Lobos, and that's going to move Matthews to third base, and it's going to put Bryant on second with the double. Jim, can you help me out? And then we had Mr. Greg Brimhall, Mr. Josh Craner, Mr. Brian Lang, and now Mr. Joe Matthews. So we got to come up with something to name the park after all those men. A lot of good men have coached some Lobo baseball. I've had the good fortune to work with a lot of them, and they've done a fantastic job. As it looks like we're going to have us a little pitching change here. and we're going to have number 3 for the Show Low Cougars. And number 3 is going to be Nolan Hatch. So he's going to come in from his shortstop position, which is a good news for the Lobos after that last inning when he got that line drive. So we're going to have a little bit of a position change. But, Jim, you followed Lobo sports for a long time, and we've seen a lot of good baseball played here over the years. We've seen a lot of phenomenal athletes. Just because we're a little bit of Lobo homers, and I apologize to the Cougars, but I can tell you about the Cougar great I've seen, and that was Mr. Doug Mathis. I saw him one time pitch, and he was good. Yeah. He was an amazing, and he's one of the best I've seen to come out of this White Mountains. But man, he was a good ball player.
Well, when you have the talent that he had, and then the work ethic that he had, that equals professional baseball player.
And that's what he was, and he did, and he's something that the city of Show Low and the Cougars can be proud of. And now look at these Lobos. You've seen some very good Lobo athletes come through. Is there one in particular that sticks out in your mind? I know I have one or two.
Oh, there's a few, but these are old names. I'm an old-time Lobo fan.
I never saw him play, but I hear Mr. Greg Brimhall is a former coach who's now the golf coach, was an amazing Lobo baseball player.
Greg was a very, very good baseball player. Paul Reynolds' son, Paul Reynolds Jr.
Paul Reynolds Jr. He
got drafted in the minor leagues, went to AAA Colorado, and then that's how he got. But
another one that goes way back is I hear the old timers, and I don't mean to call him old. I'm saying was Bobby Armijo was a left-handed pitcher for the Lobos, and he actually umpires quite a few of the games. Yeah. Now back to action here. We'll talk about the Lobo greats later as Braden Frost steps in. Good old insight from Jim Johnson. 6-2, bottom of the 5th, no outs. Frost up to bat as Frost is going to dink one, and that is going to be right caught, but we could have us an RBI, and that's going to store Bryant. Okay, Jim, we got to go through that. So Frost sends it to center field for the first out of the inning. Bryant comes in from third to score. As Hall goes out to pick that off, Hall fakes the throw. And as he
pulls Aiden off the base, and he almost got picked off.
And Aiden almost got back, and he barely got in by the skin of it. So Aiden stays put, so Aiden's on first. Frost gets the RBI, though. He sends the RBI, and that's going to bring us Brendan Bryant up to bat. So that's going to put the Lobos with another score on the board, as Bryant's going to hit one. Uh-oh, this could be double play. As we have 6-4. My goodness, Jim.
And enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk1067.com as the Cougars just turned a textbook 6-4-3 double play as Logan Forney is going to step in here in the 6th inning. And, we're going to get a little bit of a break in the action as Bodden's going to step in with Forney, Bodden with the delivery. And Bodden's going to get hit, and it's going to be high. It's going to be easy can of corn for Easton Butler. Texas Leaguer caught as Forney flies out to Butler for the first out of the inning. Jim, you've been around White Mountain Athletics for a long time. I want you to tell us about some of the Show Low greats. We all know about Mathis, amazing ball player.
When I was in high school, Aaron, there were 2 kids that were really good. There was a kid named Ronnie Nicholas. I
think according to the pitch count, Bryant pitched Friday, and Bryant would be available Wednesday. And with Bryant, I think that puts a lot of solid defense behind him. And if Bryant's going to throw like he did, he's going to keep the ball down. And we're going to have Bodden wanted that as a strike 3 as we have 2 down. And Skip, Mr. Murray, says no, he's going to throw it. Jimmy got Deuces Wild on the board, 2-2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs as we have Deuces Wild. Skip Bodden rears back, he throws it. And that's going to lead us to a full count for Nick Hall. Nick Hall with the full count. He grounded to second base to Aiden Kaur his last time up. Jim, back to what we were talking about. I love talking about these Lobo greats and what went on. Bodden with the delivery. As Hall swings on, that's going to be a swing on for strike 3. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th with Snowflake up 7-2. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk1067.com. I've done baseball, but
a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our Cancer Center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
One is a fly ball to third, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. When it comes time to choose your college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northline Pioneer College with campuses pretty much all over in Navajo and Apache County, as Brevin Matthews is going to step in for the Snowflake Logos. Northline Pioneer College, as again these sponsors make these games possible for you at home, and these broadcasts as Matthews looks at strike one. And we have these sponsors that are so grateful and gracious to give these young people a chance. As Matthews is going to hit one in the hole, and that's going to be a little bit fumbled, and that's going to go down as an E6. And I'm not sure who the shortstop is after Hatch. Is that a Threadgill? Threadgill moved to the shortstop, and that's going to be Matthews is going to arrive on first base with the error attributed to shortstop. We haven't seen many errors today, Jim. Both teams win.
It's been a pretty clean game.
Solid defense behind both teams and both pitchers. Sholo's on their third pitcher of the game. Effectively, Sholo fighting for their playoff lives. The Lobos looking to get comfortable as the pitcher, Skip Bodden, checks in with a 7-2 cushion right now, as Skip's going to look at strike one. Skip didn't like that pitch outside. Skip's not I have the fortune to have Mr. Skip Bodden in class, and I got to be honest, it's an adventure every day with that great young man. Just a good young man to have and be able to call your teacher as we get a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. And if that hits your windshield, call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, because guess what, Jim?
Just hit the windshield.
That took out a windshield.
That was a hit and run. That was way outside, and it was on. He swung at it just to try to get it in play.
Bodden comes up with an 0-2 count. Got to protect in his pitch right now, as Bodden looks at ball one high. Jim, as we're going to talk about athletes from Sholo and Snowflake, the one that I'm always going to mention in the White Mountains that I just had the privilege to watch and play as we watch Bodden with the pitch here, as it's going to be outside for 2-2, is we got to talk about a little bit about Nick Johnson for Blue Ridge, and watching that young man play the sports he did, and we miss him and his athleticism, and one of the finest young men I ever saw participate in sports, and one of the finest athletes to come out of these White Mountains is Bodden. Bodden's going to single past the second baseman, and that's going to move Matthews as the Lobos in scoring position with one out here in the bottom of the sixth, as Matthews goes to second on Bodden's single. And
Nick Johnson was a rare bird. He was very, very, actually, you gotta call him exceptional with baseball, football, and basketball.
He
played them all very well.
Quarterback the football team. He had some very high-scoring games in basketball, and of course, he will always be remembered for that walk-off home run when Blue Ridge won the state title. And if you look out here, you see Coach Merck and Coach Matthews, who were both the head coach and pitching coach respectively on that team. And I've talked to Coach Merklin about him a few times, and Nick Johnson is definitely missed, and he was one of the finest young men I saw participate in sports in these White Mountains. There's Munger. Munger's going to, oh my goodness, we're going to have a ground ball, and Matthews is going to take, that's Matthews. Matthews is going to take the tag, and we're now going to have 2 down in the inning, and we're going to move Bodden to second base. So we're going to have a 5 unassisted. Bodden's going to move to second, and Munger's going to be on with an FC, fielder's choice, for the at-bat as Yellow Hair comes up.
We got to talk about that play on that third baseman. It was hit hard to his left, and he dove and made a great play. Tag.
Is that Forney, I believe, is the third baseman.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe not. I'm not sure. They moved around, and we didn't get the. That is Logan Forney, the third baseman is. Oh, Yellow Hair got buckled a little bit, and he's going to look at strike one. Lobos yet to score in this inning, still up 7-2, though. However, in the bottom of the sixth, as we're moving forward in this game. 2 down for the Show Low Cougars as Nolan Hatch looks, delivers, and Jet Yellowhair is going to foul one back. It's going to hit the fence. Here's going to be the payoff pitch to Yellowhair. Yellowhair is going to hit one hard, and that's going to be driven deep down. That's going to hit the line. Yellowhair is going to run for a couple days. We're going to have Bodden cross. We're going to have Munger cross. And we're going to have Jet Yellowhair going into third base with a triple for the Snowflake Lobos. My goodness, Jim, they had it played so far to the left side. Like Lobos up in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bryant swings at strike 3, and that's going to go down as a strike.
Pitch. Took something off. Nice little breaking ball.
As the Lobos put themselves quite a cushion, as it looks like Bodden's coming back out. We're going to take a break. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Show Low Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Show Low Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Show Low Ford has the best deal. Show Low Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at showlowford.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine.
Kishbaugh stepping in. Jeremy Kishbaugh stepping the catcher, and he's going to look at strike 1. Good job on Kishbaugh, though, of looking down to his teammates saying, okay, I'm going to let you guys look and see what he has. As Kishbaugh looks in, as Kishbaugh swings at strike 2. Kishbaugh's done a phenomenal job behind the plate. Jim, I do not think he's had a pass ball today.
If he has, it's been maybe just one. I don't remember completely, but he has done very well behind the plate. I've just seen straight fastballs, Aaron. I haven't seen anything else. He's just throwing the heat.
As Munger is going to sit down Jeremy Kishbaugh with the strikeout. Kishbaugh had a pretty good game on the day going, and Munger sits him down for the first out of the inning. And we're going to have a Comfort Fit Dentures pitching changes. We've had a couple of those today. That's Ashton Munger going in for Skip Bodden. As Bodden may have been out of pitches too. He may have hit that magical spot as Munger looks, delivers to Kishbaugh. Kishbaugh's going to foul on that. That's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. If that hits your windshield, call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Munger 0-1 ahead in the count as Munger's going to throw. As Munger's going to throw one in the dirt, Kishbaugh's going to look at it. Kishbaugh looking to get something going for these Show Low Cougars. Kishbaugh gets on, it's going to be a whole different ball game.
Kishbaugh and Brewer.
He is.
Those guys can play some football. They are speedy, tough-nosed, kind of kids that you got a game plan and game plan well for them.
Absolutely. Both those young men had some speed and did very well on the season. It's just, it's great that we still live in an area where we can mention names in multiple sports. And that's going to be ball 4 to Kishbaugh. Kishbaugh's going to be on first, and that is going to be a threat to get things going here for the Cougars as that brings up Nolan Hatch. Nolan Hatch, he has hit by a pitch. He hit one between third and short for a base hit, and he struck out his last time up. So Hatch 1 4-2 on the day as Munger looks. Munger going from the stretch now. Munger looks, he fires, and that's going to be up. Jimmy's missed 4 in a row up.
Yeah. Seems that's where his miss is. He's been up quite a bit.
As the ominous clouds move over Lobos Stadium, but rain not yet to hit, but we're smelling it a little bit in the air. As Munger throws it, and we're going to have a strike. Those of you watching the broadcast at home, it started out as a pretty decent White Mountain day, and it's turned to end as a pretty decent White Mountain day as far as the temperature dropping a little bit. There's Munger on. Munger misses high. I'm counting quite a few pitches. Most of them, all of them have missed high and inside, Jim.
Yeah.
9-2. Top of the 7th here, last chance for the Cougars. However, threatening with Kishba on first. As Munger throws, and he's going to be, if you get a car accident, you go to Summit. If you need something fixed in your car that you want to rig, you go to Ace Hardware. You take your car to go up and fish, you go to Honda Ski and Outdoor. I don't know how to fit Beeler Orthodontics and Comfort Fit Dentures. So teeth, glass, and automotives, that's what we do. And we are grateful to all of them for that. Fantastic individuals for sponsoring these games for these youth. Runners on first and second as Munger is going to fire a double play ball. We're going to get one at second, and that's going to be Aiden Kaur fires one over to Bodden. So we're going to have Hatch thrown out by a 4-6 for the second out of the inning. And that's going to put Brewer on first with a fielder's choice. However, that moves Kishba to third. So we have runners on the corners with Threadgill up to bat. Threadgill batting .355 on the year. However, his on-base percentage is about half the time. So when it comes to hitting, Threadgill's going to get on about half that time. Munger looks 2 down, 9-2 lead by the Lobos. As Munger's we're gonna have a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass windshield, and if that hits your windshield, you need to call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. And there's the third out of the game as Threadgill's called for strike 3, as the Snowflake Lobos are going to come out victorious. And we're going to keep it here, folks, for the post-game show, as the Lobos are going to celebrate their region championship. We thank those for tuning in. And Jim, we got a couple accolades we need to give. The first thing is we got our Deemer's glass-shattering play or hit of the game. And I'm going to give it to Jet Yellowhair. Do you have somebody different you want to give it to?
The only other one that would be contested would be Easton Butler to put those first 2 runs on the board, where he hit that, and he scored the first 2 runs. So either one of those is a worthy candidate for. So I'm good with whatever you choose. I'm definitely going to go with Jet Yellowhair. Congratulations to him. And we're going to give him a shout-out. The next thing we got to talk about is our player of the game. And I know who we're kind of both thinking, and that's the pitcher, Skip Bodden. Skip had a great day. Skip also had 2 singles. He scored twice. He had a walk, so he was 2 for 3 on the day. The other one that would be a contention is the catcher, just because he's phenomenal, and he did a great job, and that's Brevin Matthews. But, Jim, I'm going to have to go with Skip Bodden as our player of the game. I'd have to agree. He struggled a little bit those first 3 innings. He got behind pretty much on most every batter those last 3 innings, so he was lights out. He got ahead, was throwing really good velocity, had good movement on his breaking ball, and did a wonderful, wonderful job. So I'd agree with that. So, Jim, Skip Bodden is going to be our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports player of the game. Congratulations to that young man. Before we go, ladies and gentlemen, our sponsors, we need to thank them. We need to support them. Sholo Ford, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, Deemer's Glass, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Ace Hardware with our keys to the game, Summit Healthcare with their injury report, Beeler Orthodontics. You know, they make our youth smile. Live the smile, love your smile. Beeler Orthodontics, Comfort Fit Dentures, NPC, Horn Auto. And we'd like to thank our people in the booth. We'd like to thank Jim Johnson for stepping in on very short notice. Literally 20 minutes before the game, I said, you need to call this game, and he said, I'll do it. Jim with some great insight on both the Sholo Cougars and Snowflake Lobos. And Skip Bodden with our player of the game. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Joe Matthews and the Snowflake Lobos. They will host a game here this Wednesday. And the Sholo Cougars, congratulations to their season. Let's hope it's not over. Let's hope the points work in their favor. We want to get as many teams from the White Mountains in that as possible. So we're giving the best bet to Coach McNeil and his Sholo Cougars and his players. Came up a bit short in the effort, but did get the best of the Lobos the first time we played them. To Nate, Daniel, Camden, all the guys in the truck, all the guys set up. I believe RJ's up there. Thank you for all you do. Thank you to Mr. Johnson. Congratulations to Snowflake Lobos on the region championship. This is Aaron Hewish with Jim Johnson. I'm signing off, and we will see you next time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware by White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport.